You know, sometimes here on the channel, I'll try a product because it's the latest and greatest and I think it looks really cool. Sometimes I'll try a product because you, the subscribers, have asked me to. You've made a request in the comments and I say, sure. But no matter what it might be, I want it to be really cool. I want it to be perfect. But in the back of my head, I'm always thinking, uh-oh, what if it sucks? Or it's from a brand that I've never worked with before, so I have really low expectations. But sometimes I'm very pleasantly surprised, and that's the case with the smart lock we're talking about today. Let's get to it. What up everybody, George Langabeer here. Today we are talking about the X1 smart lock from Thorbolt. This is an Apple HomeKey smart lock. It also has a fingerprint sensor and a keypad built in. And I'm gonna tell you all about it. I'm gonna unbox it. I'm gonna talk about the setup and install. I'm gonna talk price and specs. I'm gonna talk about the Sleek Point app, which is the app used with this lock. And I'm gonna give you my full review, pros and cons as usual. Let's get started with the unboxing. All right, let's open this bad boy. You can see that it's built on thread, which is awesome. You've got a customer service QR code, another scan to email QR code, the user manual complete with another QR code that takes you to an installation video, 2 different templates. Which one you use is really going to depend on your particular deadbolt. You've got the exterior part of the lock. This is the part that has the keypad and your fingerprint sensor. If you open that compartment towards the bottom, that's where your physical key goes. This is the interior part of the lock with your latch and your Apple Home code. Got a box full of hardware. Here you've got the interior bracket. This goes on the inside of your door. That's what the lock attaches to. You've got your physical keys that comes with it. You've got your bolt. Now with some smart locks you can cheat and use the bolt that's already in your door. With this one I recommend using that bolt that comes in the box. Got the strike plate if you need to replace that. And you've got some mounting screws, and that's it. Before we move on, I want to thank Thorbolt for sending me the X1. This is not a sponsored video. They just sent it to me to try out. But I hope you know by now that I 100% promise, whether a video is sponsored or not, I'm always going to tell you like it is. All right, now let's briefly talk about setup and installation. For setup, you're going to get yourself the Sleek Point app, so don't be confused. It's not the Thorbolt app, it's the Sleek Point app. Then you're going to sign up for an account. You're going to add a device, specifically the X1. Then the app's going to walk you through everything step by step. As far as installation, this is not a retrofit lock this time, meaning that it's going to replace the outside and inside of your door's hardware. So you're going to have a keypad and the fingerprint sensor on the outside, and you're going to have a latch on the inside. So keep that in mind. But setup and installation is very easy. If you've never done this before, you can have it done in under 15 minutes. If you've done this before, you can have it done in 5 minutes. All right, let's talk price and specs. This lock is $129.99. It comes in black, gray, and silver. It has Apple HomeKey, meaning you can use your Apple Watch and your iPhone to unlock the lock, which is awesome. Now it connects to Apple Home via Thread. Thread is a networking protocol which basically forms a mesh network in your home, specifically for your smart home devices, and in theory, it's supposed to help your smart home run smoother. And we're going to talk about that in a few moments. Now, because it connects via Thread, you need a Thread border router, and chances are your Apple Home Hub is already a Thread border router, but make sure you have one to make this work. You can manage access for up to 50 users using the Sleek Point app. It supports up to 100 passcodes, and it also has a fingerprint reader, which is lightning fast, and that supports up to 100 fingerprints. It has auto lock, meaning that when you leave, it'll automatically lock behind you in case you forget. You can do anti-peep passcodes. There are 6 methods in total to use this lock. You can use Apple HomeKey, which is your watch and your phone. You can use Siri. You can use passcodes. You can use a physical key, and you can also use the app. You can do unlimited access for a user. You can do limited access for a user, let's say an Airbnb where they're staying for like a week, or you can do one-time access. Let's say you want to let in your UPS driver. I have not been able to test this because I haven't had it for this long, but Thorbolt says this battery life is up to 1 year using 8 AA alkaline batteries. But again, I haven't been able to test that, but if that's true, that's awesome. And it's compatible with most deadbolts in the United States and Canada. All right, now let's talk about the SleekPoint app, which is the app we're using with this lock. Here you go, there's my home screen. You can see the status of the lock right here. If I click on it, again, you can see your status. You can see your battery level. You can see that it's connected to Thread, and I'm talking about in the upper right-hand corner. I can lock the door. I can unlock the door. Down at the bottom, we've got lock activity. This is a log of every time the lock was used, and I can go to the top right to the calendar and change the date. Manage access. This is where you can add your different users and give them a passcode and a fingerprint and so on. Very easy to do, very simple to set up. Let's go to the settings on the top right. Here you can name your lock. You've got the lock side, so that's the orientation of the lock on your door. Your auto lock, you can set that up at a different time durations. Lockdown mode. So if this thing is tampered with, you can lock it down, which is awesome. You can control your keypad sensitivity. You got lower, default, or higher. You've got the time that your keypad will time out after you've used it. You can toggle on or off your anti-peep passcode. If you go to power, you've got Apple HomeKey sensing, the keypad, fingerprint sensor, so you can toggle those on and off to conserve battery life. You got your feedback sound, you can turn that on and off. You can sync your time zone. You've got your model, your connectivity, your firmware, report an issue, remove accessory. That's the SleekPoint app. Nice and simple, very easy to use. Now, I don't mean to breeze over it because a lot of people ask me about this, but what is an anti-peep passcode? Basically, you can create a passcode and put some fake numbers before it or fake numbers after it, so that way if somebody's watching you put in your passcode, they can't really tell what your actual passcode is. But that is an anti-peep passcode. All right, let's talk my review. What do I think of the Thorbolt X1? Pros and cons. We're gonna start with the pros. Now, this is a bold claim, but I'm telling you right now, this is the most reliable smart lock I've ever used. I go into these things with completely low expectations, but on this one, I was so pleasantly surprised. Everything about this lock has been flawless for me. I could not ask for anything more. Now, Thorbolt will claim that the fingerprint reader is lightning fast, and their claim is absolutely correct. This is one of the fastest fingerprint response times I've ever had on a smart lock, which is awesome. I love that it has Thread support. Now, I mentioned that I was going to talk about Thread. Here we go. I have not personally ever been very impressed with Thread. I don't know. I just don't think it's ever lived up to the hype. But a device like this restores my faith in it because this thing's so lightning fast and everything about it works so well. And I'm thinking it's because of Thread. I don't know. But again, it's restoring my faith. So thank you, Thorbolt. I love that we've got Apple HomeKey. We've got the fingerprint option, and we've got the passcode. For me personally, all these other locks have the facial recognition and the palm vein stuff. These are the 3 methods that I use personally, so I'm really glad that this lock covers all my bases. Now, if you watch the channel and you've seen my other smart lock reviews, you know I'm a big believer in the auto lock feature. I live in this apartment. I love to have a lock behind me when I leave, just in case I forget. I don't know, it's just very convenient for me. Now, a lot of times I find that the auto lock on a lock is not very reliable, and that sucks because I love it so much. This lock, the auto lock, has been 100% flawless, and that makes me happy. Now, again, I can't verify this because I haven't had it for a year, but if the battery life claim is true and you can get a year on these batteries, that's fantastic. Now, let's talk about cons. Now, a lot of times in these reviews, I'm telling you right now, I'm always going to tell you like it is. Now, sometimes I have to really think about it to come up with a con, but in this one, I had to reach, man. I had to reach far because I really love this lock. I've been so pleasantly surprised. But if there was one thing, and this is just a nitpicky thing, the auto lock. I was just telling you how much I love that. You can only set this to 3 minutes, and I wish you could set it a little longer because sometimes I'm up in this apartment and I have to go downstairs to get my packages, and sometimes that takes me more than 3 minutes. I've always liked it when I could go downstairs and come back up and my door's still unlocked. This one, it's always locked. Now that's great for security purposes, and I'm a security guy, so that part's awesome. But for convenience purposes, I just wish we had a little longer setting. But that's the only con I have, man. This lock is flawless. And again, that's a nitpicky con. That's it. That's my review of the Thorbolt X1 smart lock. What do you think? Have you ever tried a Thorbolt product? Did you like it? Let me know in the comments. You thinking about getting a lock like this? Let me know in the comments. If you get one, let me know what your experience is. Tell me if it was as flawless as mine. Now, some of these locks are getting so complicated with the palm veins and the facial recognition. This one keeps it simple. Apple HomeKey, your watch and your phone, the fingerprint, awesome, the passcode. That's all you really need in a lock. All this other stuff is cool, but sometimes simple is better. And I can't state enough how ridiculously impressed I am with how reliable this lock is. It didn't fail me once, and I can't think of a single product that I've ever tested that didn't fail me one time. So I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. It's awesome. All right, appreciate your support very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Until the next video, peace and love, my friends.